Welcome to tonight's show. I will gladly welcome you all aboard and hopefully take you through the next hour or two and give you a bit of a insight to the current state of the UKBL standings, and hopefully also have a view at a few different exciting and fun matches. Hopefully also Electric Vision and Philip will be joining me. They have other things to attend to at the moment. Phil is chugging in his halflings and will probably be joining me later. So I think we'll start off with having a look at the current standings of the UKBBL leagues. So hopefully this is not a huge surprise for most of you. As you can probably see from most of the leagues, that the standings are very close towards the end. There is still a lot to be decided towards the end. Also, some of the leagues have been more or less settled. There is very close fighting in both the Hills divisions to who will actually be the winner. The Aldorfs are a little bit more. The Aldorf East has more or less been settled at this point, whereas the Aldorf West is still very much open to who will run away with the win here. The Prim Leagues have all been decided. More or less, the only question is who will be the semifinalists, is whether it will be Andy or it will be Henrik, which is the only more or less standing out at this point for determining who will. I do not remember the schedule to do you remember if we're lucky enough that we will actually be able to see if Hamlet can secure his position in the finals at this point. That would be really, really amazing if he could. Also, of course, there will be some live matches going on. Hopefully, we'll be also be diving in. Oh, mistakes. That's always a good place to start. Um, well, I will take full credit for any typing of all the races, but I must also admit that having to type in all of the races for all of the different divisions does leave in a, let's call it, a certain margin of mistakes. There is a thread on our Discord, of course, where you can post any mistakes that you spot, so that we can have it corrected. I will probably not be able to multitask enough that I will be able to do it both while broadcasting here and that. Just please ignore the, so to speak, the misalignment of any races that are not correct, of course. That being said, hopefully we will also have a look at some of the data that this lovely collection have given, and have a look at what races has been doing better or worse in this season of the UKBBL League. I must say that there is at least some of the findings that I found quite surprising. So that will be something interesting to look at a later stage. So let's see, what do we have of matches going on at the moment. I will see if we can switch to the game, so to speak. There is at least one match going on at the moment. Community live. Oh, I have to pick league first, then live. Keep forgetting that step. Oh, we have 3 matches to pick from. So let's see, Barren Hills, Confederate, and Forest. So I think this one is actually one of the more important matches, as far as I remember. This is the potential winner of Barren Hills being determined here by this match, and Dragonbane is definitely no easy opponent, and neither is Laputa. I am probably going to be mispronouncing all names here, so Do not take offense. I am dyslexic and have 20 other bad excuses for not being able to pronounce any teams right or wrong. But this is definitely one of the matches I think we will have to be keeping a close eye on, because it is definitely the match that's going to be deciding the winner, most likely, of Baron House. We can see Dragonbane seems to be defending and has induced at least a chainsaw against, what would this be? This would be Old World Alliance. Well, they're not really known for, at least all of them, having high armor values, so this could be, what is going on here? Pro Troll Slayer that is putting a flash golem. So a funny side detail for those who don't know, back in 1992, Danish football team managed to somehow capture the World Cup. No, it's not World Cup. We only wish. The European Cup, and many of the players that were a part of that team are actually the naming convention for Dragonbane's team, which is also probably why he has picked the name Danish Dynamite for his team. Though I would say at this junction of the match, it looks like the Old World Alliance is quite heavily sitting on the match. It looks like, at least. I wonder if that is removals or. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe one removal. So yeah, definitely interesting to see if the Old World Alliance. I will probably not surprise many people by revealing the fact that Old World Alliance have not been doing awfully good this season. It is not the easiest team to get to perform that well. It's as one of those mixed teams where you just need to build the team and get the balancing right, because you have a little bit of everything. Just like guessing, oh, that's gonna be not nice. Well, definitely looks like yeah, human catches. I love those, especially since they come down price. I still think, though, that the humans catchers, like the Kislev catchers, should be allowed to have AG4. I think it would bring humans just that little extra power that they need to be a very competitive team. Whereas right now they are competitive-ish in the light end of the spectrum. And having those catchers with AG4, it's like the Kislev team or the Skaven with the gun runners, I think would make a huge impact towards how they function. Of course. So yes, the old AG4 is what is now a 2+. So that would be equivalent to the gun runners AG4 or 2+ roles. And that would also mean that they would become much more so to say, versatile and be able to be used for different positionings and move around, because you could reliably trust that they could both catch the ball and dodge around. Oh, that's a cheeky move. That is a cheeky move by the ghoul there. Oh, but double six. That means that the ref saw that. So it's going to be a send off, most likely. Yeah. Means a turnover. Oh. I wonder if that cheeky ghoul was meant to have company, or if it was just to attack him. Um, of course, if the catches were to increase in AG, they would also have to increase in costs. But technically, they would probably not have to increase that much. Probably be about 80, 85K. So if you compare them to like a Wood Elf catcher or some Gutteron or something like that, they are still underpowered comparatively, and looking at that cost, they would definitely also need to be cheaper still, of course. Also, one thing as a human, you probably, when compared to the Gutter Runners, would thoroughly be missing compared to the Gutter Runner is the lack of access to the mutations. But for my experience with the humans, they just need that little bit more. Compared to when I started playing humans, oh god, 20 years ago, they didn't have ogres. The catchers and throwers was more expensive. They didn't have access to the halflings and stuff. So you have seen a constant sort of shift towards making them stronger and stronger. I think they still are a little bit underpowered compared to, say, for example, orcs. Orcs have the 4 players of 4 strength. I think humans with 4 players of AG4, 2 plus, would actually make them very competitive. Of course, it would also increase the cost, but I think it's worth it. It seems like the undead are not exactly having their most stable game of this season. 2 removals, 2 KOs, and a send off chainsaw. I think, what would that be on a third or second try? That is a bit harsh. But yeah. Let's see here. I think orcs need to be slightly worse than they are. Not much. I think dwarves' problem is not so much in the power level, in the sense that you can also see for the win rates that they not are doing that amazingly, whether that be in perpetual leagues or NAF rules or anything else like that. So clearly that problem is more that they are boring as beep to play with and definitely to play against. A cheeky roll here on a 1 die on a ball carrier, risky, but definitely were not rewarded for that. Well, if you look at dwarves, even at high level skills, whether it be in like a challenge or perpetual cups, stuff like that, they still don't do that well. And I find the biggest problem with dwarves as a competitive race is that they lack diversity. Like they have one answer for everything, and if violence isn't the answer, they will fail. So generally, if you get towards the speedier elves, you are in for a bad time as a dwarf, because you just can't move fast enough around the field that you can really counter them. They're a good counter for dwarves, to counter the orcs, even to some extent chaos, even with claws, stuff like that. But yeah. Yeah. Nuffle is definitely having his fun here. So the bulk carriage goes down on a reroll and KO'd. Oh my god. The dice are definitely taking a swing here. I'm not a huge fan of this werewolf being not used until probably going to be used here in a second. Yeah. Oh, I would have taken the dodge over. But at least he picked up the ball. I think the Orwell Lions is going to have a hard time to pry that ball of that wolf. Unless, of course, Snuffle decides to help out a bit. Yeah. Judging Wraith. Now, though, even though it's not unlikely, it is always a risky move. It's a high-value player, and will be missed if it goes down. Yeah. Oof. Good question what to do here, Sadako. Of course, the ones keep rolling in here. So you got to pro that. Yeah, he did. And we got a nice punch to the face here. The zombie remains on field. Just barely. Okay. That's a... they're definitely playing well. Okay, I didn't see. Didn't I'm used to dwarves and block, but what are the odds that we're gonna see the attacking up here, and then probably this one is gonna be doing the blitzing. I'm foreseeing. Still has 2 rerolls, so should be at least a chance on one. I think this one will move up first, though. At least if me, I would move it up first. No, we're gonna take the. Well, Nuffle did intervene. Pure 6 on the first die. That's not bad. And he secured the ball, of course. Because if nothing else, Troll Slayers are renowned for their bolt handling skills, especially with -1 agility on top of that. That's a common sight. Gonna roll. That's rough dice. I think that Troll Slayer is gonna see some violence this turn. I think he's not gonna be left alone. Yeah. A follow up. And a boom. Knuckle is definitely taking no prisoners this match. Yeah. The werewolf is probably going to give at least a try to pick up on that one. We're going to have a block first. Interesting. Being in the hopes to clear out the dodging. I would be more concerned about this fellow over here. No follow-up. Curious. Probably gonna see pick up and try to So we actually last week had a good, I think, funny discussion about like which players do we oh that's rough. Enjoy seeing most dead, and I think it tells a lot about your preference also towards playstyle, whether from my point of view it was the War Dancer and the others were it was more or less any dwarf. I think I think it mostly tells a bit about how you see and prefer the game to be played. I think I will always shed a tear of happiness whenever I see a elf or dwarf die, and I don't know why. Well, I actually probably do know. Star players, of course, are also a certain level of joy to remove, though I was always a bit surprised when they removed the Apox ability to save star players. But yeah. I'd say even a dead bomber, which is probably the cheapest star player I can at least think of, uh, brings satisfaction and joy to my heart, my black shriveled dead heart. But yeah, would you go for it? Yeah, is he within scoring range? He would be just barely. Oof, gotta reroll that. Hope to clear him out. Uh, but yeah, probably gonna be the catcher trying to make a run for it down here. That tree seems to be really wanting to take a tree. Yeah, gotta be a push, you know, because you accepted the. Yeah, that means a freeze up. This is one of the things that I find really both it's fun and interesting, but also really frustrating about the game, right? If this pickup fails, the undead are in a chance of winning. If they pick up, they're in a chance of winning, meaning that the game, regardless of one way or the other, will swing heavily in one way or the other, right? Uh, Probably gonna see the werewolf gonna have a stab at this runner. Yeah, I I I I I actually prefer that type of matches where the people can sort of secure their own positioning than the matches where it's sort of like you're hoping that your opponent is failing or something like that. So and when you have good players duking it out on the field, I think there's this extra level of excitement and nerves when you try to, as here, determine the winner of a league like this. Yeah. The blood dodge saves another day. So that means that technically the thrower could make a handoff and make a touchdown. So, and another pow. That's Nuffle being kind to probably wanna, you know, I wouldn't risk this. Gives he a dot. Ooh! Nuffle gives, Nuffle takes. Yeah, I can see why you wanna. Hey Phil. The call, you should be able to join whenever it suits you. I hope the halflings are nicely put to sleep with some extra potatoes and all that. Yeah. We just need to see if there's a little bit of extra damage before the clearing. I'm gonna go up here. Block. Well, dwarves are known for being either having their armor or forgotten them, and clearly this one didn't forget his. But that has been a expensive half for both teams. Oh, well, I will rectify that. Seems he succeeded. All KOs have returned. That is I would think that dwarf will be missed for the second half. And I think if given the option to remove the chainsaw for the dwarf, I think Dragonbane will be happy with that exchange. I should probably hear the game actually. That might actually be beneficial. Or make it a little bit more enjoyable. Oh. Is there one of those again? Oh god. God, I hate that thing when the game does that. I really wonder why they don't have like here, like then you could have a small marker up here indicating that there's a player, one player in that direction. And then if you go up like here, there is like X players in this direction. So that you would have an idea of how many players are off the field, because I have seen so many matches where people are unaware that there is a player missing and on a tabletop you would never have that. You might miscount the players you put on the table, sure, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's seen that, and I'm fighting my urge to intervene and tell people, but that is not my role here. So yeah. Yeah, I also had my last opponent actually, Snow Troll. Both me and him didn't see that there was a Saurus hiding up on the TD line, and for better or worse, a missing Saurus might make a slight difference in how a game turns out, and especially as it was a closely fought match. The fact that Saurus wasn't on let's call it participating. Oh, am I being greedy for seeing that one being pushed up here, and then taking a Wraith and putting here, and then surfing that guy? I might be greedy, or is that just me? Yeah, I do try to that when I put on my players that I like do the quick just scanning of the field, but I must admit that that does not always succeed, and it's one of those things where it's like it really shouldn't be, so to say, a part of the game, but it ends up being that. I can see that Phil has joined me. Now I just need to see if I can hear him. Phil, please speak your truth, or...
The ball is in the player's hands.
I can see you, I can't hear you. I have a sneaky suspicion that we're back to that is my audio doing the trick here. Just bear with me a second here. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. And we say hi to the lovely song. Please keep singing. I think that should be our new theme song.
Everybody's got to have a thing, right?
Yes.
I'm actually I was having a little look at your stats before coming on.
Yeah.
Very sad to see we're losing 3 Dark Elf teams.
Well, you have to be mindful.
Really am holding the fort there at the moment with the Dark Elves.
Yeah. So it is people both twitching and running away, right? So, but yes, it is quite a reduction on the Dark Elf players, which I am also sad to see.
I think they're a great race. Great race.
So,
however, it looks like Bloodslurper's Dark Elves are currently playing Bazos. I think Bloodslurper is... I can't remember. I'd have to have a little look. I can't remember if Bazos is the other Dark Elf team that is actually sticking around.
Could be.
I'll have a little look.
So I have a Dark Elf team currently at least as of last night on the number 19 on the ladder. So I do love the Dark Elves, and I think they are definitely competitive. But I must also admit, when I look at the season and how much the win rates are of the Dark Elves, I could also probably guess why there is a lot of the Dark Elves who are trying to try something else next season.
They're great. They're brilliant. You can't live with Bash every week. It's the same. It's the same everywhere.
So actually,
you need
at least in my experience, is that Dark Elves compared to the other elves is a lot more. I don't mind the Bashir teams. What I more struggle against are like Nurgle, and that's mostly because the interference with the passing play and the what is that beast thing called? Beast of Nurgle, of course. Very complicated name.
Yeah. No, I can see. I can see why you
and Skaven and stuff like that, because it becomes like really hard. Well, that's
Nurgle by far are the most expensive tabletop Games Workshop team to buy.
Yeah.
If you ignore the fact that the Death Roller costs £50 from Forge World, which is just ludicrous.
Wow.
But I've wanted to. But there was a bit of me that went, oh, I'd love to actually have a Nurgle team for tabletop, because I've had a little look at my NAF teams that I've played at tournaments.
Yeah.
I did another one this weekend, and got beaten basically the decider by Gav. Yeah, that's not helpful.
No.
That's good though. So give us a chance.
No, I think I came from playing Warhammer Fantasy before going into Blood Bowl, and I always loved the lore of dwarves. So my first team was of course dwarves, before knowing any of the rules. And with each iteration of Blood Bowl, I have become less happy with dwarf rule wise. They're just too boring to play, I'd say, in most cases. Not that they're not competitive, they're just not fun to play with or against.
They're just pretty one-dimensional. That's the problem.
Yes.
It's just not going to work, is it?
It's like, what is your solution to everything and everything? It is bashing. And it's like, yep, that's not really enjoyable and fun. I think Black Orcs, at least for my opinion, sort of suffers the same problem. Where it's all like Black Orcs win or die by the fact that if you get them to start bashing and removals, you will win. Other than that, you don't really have a much of a chance. Yeah. Yeah, I also think one
Needs
of
to
the,
be quieter.
I also mean that see the comment about the rot spawn is that I think one of the funny is it not funny haha but funny interesting is that well it's one of the few dice rolls tentacles that is done by your opponent, meaning that I can't re-roll it. So if I am doing anything more or less else, I can sort of re-roll it and have a second try at it. But the only thing I can't is being glued and stuck in place by the tentacle, right? And I think that really makes a huge difference.
Whether Dragon's Bane's going to make a break for it here.
Yeah.
Oh, power's going to help.
Pulling a KO on top of that.
Very nice.
But it's going to be a risky one because if he goes down here on a failed dodge, right, which he's assuming what's going to happen here in a second, you're in a bad spot.
Oh yeah. I almost think you have to leave the wolf there.
Well,
It's got a dodge away. That's good.
high risk, high rewards.
That
I seem to someone smart telling me at one point.
That dwarf's not close enough.
I should probably say something meaningful to all our Cabal Vision viewers. All I can think of is splendid.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that
That's a natty little move. Still,
that extra player there could have done a bit of a difference down here on the field. Yeah. But at least it's not a Saurus. I think Snow Troll was quite sad that his Saurus decided to stay just on the back line the whole match, more or less. So, yeah, it's going to be a
Here we
sad.
go.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Oh my god. Loose here.
Curious that he didn't
He
follow
gets
up.
lucky.
Especially when you have to roll for it now.
There's only one word to say.
Do you think he was trying to avoid getting the ball so that he could dodge out and pick it up?
No, I think he. Oh, well, I don't know. I wonder whether he was kind of going more for a. If the ball gets scattered, he can at least reposition more that way. That's what I think probably you're thinking there. But the balls.
Oh.
Well, that's not helpful.
No, it
That's
definitely
really
isn't.
not helpful.
And I think this is, at least for the period that I've been watching this paint, the second time that he has been having a skull into skull reroll single dice. So I don't think he's.
I'm not sure if this massively changes the equation though.
Oh yeah. But like trying to dodge out here is also very risky. Yeah. Just having a peek at the standings behind the scene here and seeing.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. And there's full house.
Are you feeling okay, Evie, by the way?
Yeah, I just took some paracetamol and my headache's it's mostly gone away, so that's good enough for me.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, goodbye, lineman.
Bye-bye.
How've the games been tonight?
You know, a fence may
So
soon
we are
see
watching the
players
first match
being
here
beaten
still.
by the-
So far, so good. We're trying to see who is going to be potentially the winner of the Burned Hills League.
There's no promotions on this one. I'm assuming these two are pretty much up, so it's not a case of Dragonsbane needs this to get the promotion.
Well, Dragon is actually mid-table, so he definitely could use the points. It is more a question of his opponent being able to comfortably secure his first place. Because I just looking at the numbers here, it's like for 1 to 5, they have 1 point, 2 points in difference.
Mm.
So they are very close. Did I miss the turnover over here for some reason?
At the same time.
I'm assuming it's Arcan against Alex Mason is the other key one.
Do we have a look and see if there's any other matches going on in some?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a little look and just see what's
There's
cracking.
5 in total.
Oh, pretty decent.
I don't know the scoreboards at the moment for the other divisions and stuff, so I have no clue.
So I have done, like the TV kitchen. I have done a little bit of cheating and updated all the scores, and then even marked out which matches shall be worth maybe having a look at. And Levy is actually in the potential of sniping out the Colsa Hills first place. So I think we should maybe have a look at that one.
When do they play?
So is it the Woodies or is it the Necro that's aiming for the top spot here?
Oh, I will have to look up. Levy is the Wood Elves. So the Wood Elves are trying to see if they can get a win here. They would actually be in first place in Coastal Hills.
Very nice.
So he has the potential to win here. I think in this case this is deliberate, but talking about players on the end line here, I think that might be a war dancer that has chosen to. Ooh,
Ouch! That must have hurt.
Looks like, I mean, those two players at the top there must have been a surf, right?
yeah, I'm assuming
Must
so.
have been.
This is my guess. This is the assist. This is the blitz, and this or this one is the casualty of that. Again, assuming.
It's not the Woodies drive. The Woodies are also in a lot of trouble here, aren't they? Oh, then again. It looks like, actually, no, it looks like did the Woodies surf a player? I don't know. How's the ball end up there?
I think the Woodies got surfed up here, and that's why there's this down here.
I mean, it's the Wood Elves drive, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I was wondering, I was thinking to myself,
I'm thinking the thrower over here made a pass and failed.
That sounds likely. Yeah.
And then that's why the ball is over here, and you had the.
oh, that probably makes a lot of sense, right? So they were going for potentially the quick score. So they had someone in the end zone.
Yeah,
that got
or
surfed,
two
the ball
fields,
bobbled
2
off the
squares
pitch and
away,
went
right?
backwards.
And then the Wolf made him talk to the fans.
That's a pretty disastrous block.
Yeah, that's. Ooh.
Losing that one as well, I'd have backed off there.
Yeah, I think I'd have done the same. I think I would have just dodged out there. I mean, it's nice getting the extra hit, especially when you're Woodies, but it's.
Yeah, I don't like the exposure
gonna get
down
surfed,
here.
isn't it?
Undead are just, oh no, sorry, Necro are just really hard to play against. You just can't get rid of them.
You just don't want to be anywhere near the sidelines.
Yeah,
But then if you're not near the
but
sidelines,
on top of that,
then
also,
you've got to deal with the flash columns in the middle, and they're a giant pain.
yeah, but you're also suffering the problem that your tree all of a sudden also becomes like a paper thin player, right? And on top of that, you can't really go anywhere near the edges.
Ah, not going for the surf then.
And well, okay.
That's a bit of a shame. I would have definitely went for the surf there. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about boxing those players in. You got no help now. But I will, unless he covers this, I'll be taking that 3+ dodge on.
That war dancer is doing a fantastic job of staying alive.
Yes. But as we discussed last week, the only good war dancer is a dead war dancer.
No. We want dead dwarf runners. That's what we want.
Dwarf runners, linemen. Don't care about the runners. They're nice and squishy.
Yeah, exactly. But when they die, the dwarves go, "Oh, wait a minute. What's the plan now?" And they don't have one.
Come on! Are you telling me you don't think the linemen with a 4+ pickup and 4 movement are going to be the biggest scoring threats in the world?
This is interesting. Where's he going here?
I think he's going to cage up around here at the middle. On the ball.
Oh no!
Oh, we're going to
I
have
think it's
another
gonna-
throw at it. Oh, that's a brave
Yep.
move. What?
Another throw.
So I'm just thinking, why is it that, at least from my interpretation, that it seems that the Wood Elf player is so keen on getting this early score?
It'd be you're out of contention. Is Louis out of contention?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to re-roll this? Yeah, there you go. See, I played my last game yesterday totally different because I knew I was out of contention. So it was
Could be.
it was just trying to get SPP on the right players. I mean, Mathemus made a good point. You get the tree unrooted.
Yeah.
So
I think the main points was they went for an early score, it failed, they got themselves in trouble, and they have 2 options really of commit to the early score still because they're going to be down players, they're going to get surfed, and all this other nonsense is going to happen. They're not really going to be able to protect themselves very soon because they didn't really have the players, and it was only a matter of time until the Necro just kind of corralled them. But then on top of that, you don't want the dancer getting fouled over and over again.
one of them will break him, right?
My
I
concern.
don't know why the dancer where it's currently stood though. That seems like a beautiful blitz target.
Yeah. My concern is like a Necron team with 4 turns to score is quite realistic. Like that is not given, but it's definitely within the realms of possibility, right?
I wouldn't. Any team that's got a movement 8 player, I'm not giving them 2.
No, and
I
that's
mean,
why
I think-
like why I would be concerned about even giving them, especially giving them 4. Like that's a lot of time to be.
But again, I think Evie's right. I think the situation has forced that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the Wood Elves were going for the win here, I think when they got kicked the ball, obviously we didn't see the first couple of turns, so we don't know where the kick was, whether it was a shallow kick or whatever. But I feel like if you're going to receive the ball as Wood Elves and they've got all of these journeymen, I feel like, oh, that's bad. At least
you
it's
just
easy
you
FO.
take that. You take that. I think the last game of the season, you eat that.
Yeah, but the problem is he needs to win for the title of the league. So
I think
for
they needed to DACA, didn't they? Basically, they needed to do the runaway on offense, and then hope.
See, it's the same thing is that I don't. You just don't have, because you're matched in speed to the Wolves. You set the Wolves back. I don't think Dackering's viable. or as viable against Necro as it would be against something like Orcs, who are movement 6, so you can draw them in and you can absolutely get away. The Dakar is you can do Dakar in with the tree because you use the tree as a anchor point. I actually got that from Andy David. That was quite a good bit of advice. I'm sure he's got lots of good bit of advice, and that probably came across as really condescending. But no, that was a really that's something that I've used. The tree's really good if you want to use them as an anchor point.
Yeah. Well, personally, whenever I want to do a Dakar, I don't want the tree. I mean, I don't really take the tree on the Wood Elves. It's great as an anchor point, but I don't know. I normally play very fast and loose as Wood Elves.
I think Lee is going into the match realizing like he needs 2 points to secure the first spot on this league, right? And I think that is the driving factor for his decisions. I think it's more about building a team because otherwise he like in Coastal Hills that there's like 3 players already with 19 points and he's at 18s, so he really needs
Is your T, by the way, is your T touchdown difference?
Yes.
So he only needs a point.
Technically, yes.
So he could push for the draw, which is maybe why he's gone for the early score. You got all your elves. You can probably see it out for the first half, and then it's basically just make sure they don't score quick, and then you Dakar. That's I think what he's probably gone for.
Probably. Could also be.
So actually, he needs to keep Tack out of the end zone on this drive. You have to keep him out on this drive. That's a great bit of dice roll on there.
But the problem with 1 point is technically that he has both Tangle Berry and he has Tactical Nuclear Pink. Well, he's playing against Pink.
He's playing Tack, so I don't think it's a bad thing. Now, I would be throwing a dice at this. I'd be throwing a dice at this and just seeing what happens.
I don't think you've got really much choice, do you?
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it with the journeyman, but
oh well, it doesn't matter. There's no rerolls now, so with no rerolls, it doesn't matter that they've got journeyman anymore.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
The sweltering heat is also, of course, a. I think it probably is the most hated weather in my opinion.
I think that's going to cause more problems to the Wood Elves than it is the Necro.
Well, if he can get his War Dancer back, his KO'd one, that's definitely in the next half.
Yeah, I think for better and worse, it seems the Necro team is at least heavily reliant on this goal to sort of be the ball carrier, right?
Lara apparently just confirmed a 1-0 win for his team against Dragon's Bane. Or is that a 1-0 win or is that a 1-0 loss?
So Lala,
no, it's the Danish
1-0
Dynamite
versus
against
Dragon
my
Bane,
party
right?
people. No, so that's a win for Dragon's Bane.
Oh.
This is going to get scary now, isn't it? The ball's next to the tree. There's a lot of elves around it. And the Necro don't have any rerolls. And it's not looking like they're going to be able to score unless some craziness happens there.
Louis will be very happy with that. I think that's what he'll have been playing for. He'll have been playing for a draw. He'll have known that you only need a point. Who has Tangleberry actually got this week? Is this Colsa?
How does the promotion work? Is it just top 2?
Top 2 is guaranteed. Anything beyond that is
top 3.
Top 3. Okay. Tangleberry's going to play Forgot My Tea.
Who's had a
not the best season.
Not had a great season.
I literally got knocked out I got put into 4th off the last game because I've not been able to play any.
I think you'll probably be okay.
Oh, I know. I got put into 5th, but I know that Polly, who's in 4th, is twisting. But that puts me to technically 4th, but I'm 5th.
Well,
You'll also have the complication of they'll also look at not just the sides. They'll also look at because your Griffin's wood, so they'll look at what Laurelorn has done, and so if there's bonus promotions, they'll look at Laurelorn's record in comparison to yours. So if you have a better record than say 4th in Laurelorn, that's where you're more likely to get the bonus promotion. It's Doug who knows all of these sorts of things.
but on top of that,
I mean,
you
I'd
also
have to
have
have
to
a look at
consider
Laurelorn, but
Electrik.
essentially I went
There's only
7-0-4
one word to say
in the
about
end.
this
Have you played your last match?
It's I've not played it, but it's going to. I'm 7-0-3 at the moment, but like it's going to get done by Waldorf probably tomorrow.
Because if you just get a draw, you will actually be top 3.
Yeah, I know. It's the only way I'm going to be able to play is if I take like basically a load of like painkillers and all that stuff, and it's
That doesn't
not
sound very
ideal.
nice. No.
Yeah, even then it's not that easy.
Yeah, I'm forcing myself to take some painkillers and stuff to kind of come back to streaming on the Wednesday, but I think I'm just going to have to do like some short streams for a bit until I'm like fully fine.
Sucks.
Because otherwise, I can't really sit there for like 4, 5, 6 hours, unfortunately. But I'm absolutely just so bored.
So I've been down that road a few times where it's like I was sick for like a week or 2 or maybe even more, and it's like you get so fed up at looking at the walls that it's like I'll do anything that just means that I don't have to look at the walls anymore, and it's like
That's what I mean. Like it's been 4 weeks now, or maybe more.
yeah,
Just over 4 weeks. Wait, what's the date today? I had my
4th of November. I double checked.
Yeah, so I had my surgery on the 5th of last month.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Do the rush this turn. Oh wait, no, don't do the rush this turn. No, you have sidestep, you scary person. If
this
they
is
hit you.
so this is someone at least braver than I am.
Oh, the Wood Elves have failed something. It's fine, they've scored. Okie dokie. It's 1 apiece at halftime then.
Yeah, it will be very important whether that bonus returns or not. Would you take a roll on anything here at this point if you were the
No.
no
No.
No.
Is the answer.
especially not a God.
Okay. There's no double. He's got away with it.
I think some people's cojones are definitely either bigger or more sillier than mine.
I mean, like the only thing I might take is like if I can get like a 3 dice with block, then like okay, I might take that. But most
what
of
is
the
the
time, I'm just
return?
like,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
just put it in.
War Dancer's not back either.
Jesus, this is gonna be this is gonna be the half of nothing really
Well, I mean, not having the sidestep back, that's pretty helpful.
War
But
Dancer and
you really wanted the tree, and you wanted the War Dancer, 100%.
Yeah, but let's also be fair. There's 2 wraiths over here. That is not really.
Yeah, as I say, that's. I mean, it really depends what the War Dancer's able to do.
Yeah.
You've got all the re-rolls back. I can't see because it's underneath the table, Angel. But how many re-rolls does Louis run with?
Louis has 3, I think. I'll double check here. 3, yeah.
I normally do the same with Wood Elves. I like to have 3 and then a leader on top and just go full shenanigans.
Yeah, I go 4 with any elf side. I am going to have to cut a reroll for the Dark Elves though for next season.
At least
But
to begin
I
with.
have three players with levels ready to take advantage once the caps are done.
I think Matthews. I was just looking at the same. It is 6 versus 9 here. It's gonna be it's gonna be rough.
There's space for the War Dancer though. This is the thing.
Yeah.
There's space for the War Dancer.
Well, if this goes to be like a blitz or solid defense or
Just a deep kick could be good. And the Wood Elves have got 4 rerolls now, so they can really throw some dice at it.
yeah. I also think this werewolf with tackle, if he can be lack of a better word, silenced, I think the Woodies are in for a good run. If he can't be silenced, I think they're gonna have a rough half.
But if they get rid of the War Dancer, it's over.
Well, you can always
That's
get
helpful
rid
for
of a
the-
reroll to begin with.
Looks like the players have finally remembered we're not playing soccer.
More like that, please, says the Wood Elf coach. That'll do. Just going the wrong way. Got the power.
Get up. Get up.
That's a bribe on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just clear out this these couple of players. And then come around and foul the War Dancer again. That does leave a gap, though, for this wrestle dodge piece.
Too easy.
Well, he really has to hope that the water doesn't get his armor broken.
Don't necessarily think you need it. I'm just trying to see whether I would plot a route through here, where I would get maybe a 1 dice block on that ball carrier. If he... Okay, I'm 100% sacking the ball carrier here. He's going to get up, he's going to leap out, so you're going to go diagonally, and you're going to go for the sack.
Yeah.
This is what you do here. 1, 2, 4, 5. You could
The only
pick up the
question,
ball
in
and
my
you could
opinion, is
rush
whether
once.
you take the line elf on the left and bring up for assistant.
Yeah, that's good. It's used as dodge reroll though. Probably not particularly helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the warden says he's going to lose magic.
Here we go.
What is it? It's a 3+ leap, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Be 4+. He's dodging out of 3 tackle zones. Oh no, it is. No, you're right. 3+. Only 2.
Oh.
Yep. Here we go.
Very graceful.
You reroll. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This is basically the play. Wow.
Slippery like an eel.
Enough will reward you.
Squash him next time.
Yeah.
Well
Well played. Follow.
on.
Gets the superstar ghoul as well. And it bounces into a good square.
That's gonna be meaningful.
They pick it up.
Yeah.
They've picked up the ball. I suppose I should.
And this is why Wood Elves are terrifying.
Yes, exactly.
Now this is what you do. Now you give up one of those linemen and you give up your thrower and you lock up both wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically just...
No!
yeah.
You want to lock up the tackle one, especially.
You want to lock up the tackle, yeah. That might cost you.
Yeah. Because he's gonna swing back here.
Because there is a route through. You don't even have to dodge or throw any blocks to do it. You had to throw even if you hadn't needed a reroll, you throw the reroll at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
He's never gonna move forward. Oh.
You can't argue with that call, can
It's down, but now
Down
it's
to
no
2
reroll.
rerolls. Don't like that, but you had to.
I think you... in the tackle zone as well, so still has to maybe do a dodge on top. So yeah, I can see them just playing a bit more safe now. Oh, this is... Oh no.
Wow,
That doesn't
Napoli
help.
is definitely having a laugh.
Oh god, these are the sorts of games where you in your head you're like, oh, it's all going wrong. This is horrible.
Interesting. I would have probably taken a blitz on that zombie.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to. They're not trying to go straight to the ball or anything. I don't think it looks more like they are trying to buy time so that the dancer can get back, because now they've got no sure hands. That dancer's very scary with strip ball. I think they're just going to try and keep the ball where it is and delay. And then next turn, when the dancer's back, if it doesn't get fouled, there's a big chance that the elves can make. Oh, maybe not. I take it back. The elves
Change the plans.
change of plans. The elves just decided to throw caution to the wind.
You didn't reroll that, right? No.
Grab the ball, please.
Oh.
No, that's just They why go for the pickup there?
I would put it this way. I cannot see a worse place that he couldn't do.
Like just standing where they were would have been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Then it would have been up to the opponent to do like a random scatter or whatever. But now it's just pick the ball up with the wolf and make a bolt for it.
Yep.
Oh god.
That was just a bit. I think it was just too greedy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. At least for my late taste.
Have you looked at face?
Greedy
I think that's
but also
probably,
unlucky.
Did you know you have a fan?
that's probably it now as well.
You looked at it, Jim. There's a petition to remove you from the air.
I'm having a hard time seeing the Wood Elves stopping this touchdown at this point.
I'm kind of having a hard time seeing them. Well, not only stop it, but also just like, are they even going to be able to stop a stall?
If they, I mean, there's three re-rolls. You throw a leap at it. There's no guard there, so you only need two. You only need two players, a lineman and a war dancer.
I mean, the dancer's not even. Oh, yeah. So at least one, maybe two turns. I mean, I guess they could just like dodge this lineman with dodge and go for just the one dice and gamble on the 33%. Or maybe even a 50% if you're willing to take the both down. I think that's probably the only play.
Well, you need to evacuate the warrant for wherever it is, right? Because otherwise the fail state is not with you.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh
no. So it looks like they are going to go for the one dice. I don't know if they're going to do like the 3-2 with the dancer first.
You need to, because otherwise you're in a equally shit state next turn. If you don't, see, I don't like that. Yeah, you have to reroll that now. And yeah, and then you are.
Well, I mean, hindsight's 20/20 and all that. So if they would have done the 3-2, the 3 would have failed.
Yeah, but the thing that I don't like about this fail state and the reason of this order is that this now is still horrendously far behind.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think
even just putting him tagging him in the front of him, having tagged everything down over here, meaning that he will have a hard time moving forward, and then trying to evacuate over here. At least it will put you in a position now where you can threaten him. Whereas right now, you can't even stop him next turn.
Oh dear. I hope
No,
that player
no, I
is
think they're
original.
basically kind of shafted now, aren't they?
Players can barely speak,
Yeah.
Jim, let alone write.
I mean, they would have been shafted anyway, right? Because the banter would have failed the dodge, but now they're just
Scotland baked in a pie.
definitely shafted.
Chance than this
Yeah.
poor kid. I'm getting hungry. Where's the nearest pie shop, Jim?
Are there any other
You
matches that
gotta
are...
follow the wood. As much as I...
Oh, God. Add insult to injury.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Yeah. Game over at this point.
Let's have a look. How many of the games have we got? We're up to 7 games now. I'm not sure if any of these are important.
Let's see what we got here.
But Ringtail and Hordemaster. I remember Hordemaster from and Ringtail from last week, I think. No idea about Muppet and Little Wing. I've got Scouse
So
Boy
these
from last
two,
week.
the Muppet and the Beard Off, are basically trying to secure third place in Prem East. So not really super important, but a little bit important.
We've got we do have Scouse Boy, who might be aiming for a second place, currently third in the Altdorf West.
Yeah.
It's against Doug Lowe, isn't it? Yeah.
And oh no, yeah, and then also Ringtail, who's second, is playing Hordemaster.
Yeah.
That's a very high TV Lizardman team in the rain. Interesting.
Well, Lisbon
taking
loves
Wings.
the rain, right?
Whenever I jumped up, parts of the stadium went alive. Killing many fans.
I'm just gonna look into this Hordemaster Ringtail Skaven versus Skaven, right?
Oh. So one of the things I like about Skaven is like usually, regardless of whoever they play, it will always be an interesting match. And Skaven versus Skaven is like let Nuffle have his day sort of a match, right?
Yeah, it seems to be at the moment one Skaven team has Creek and Bomber Dribble Start, and the other Skaven team doesn't have anything. Except for a very scary
Creek.
one-turner.
Together.
Is that
Creek's
Henry?
my favourite toy to play with.
Yeah.
When I play Corn, anyway, because he's got favoured of, so I can get him in a Corn team. He's really cool, and the fact that he comes back again for free, like that's so good.
Yeah, I do like Creek. Creek's actually not on the pitch this time around, though. For the first part of this.
I take him on the long drives, so if I'm receiving, I take him on my drive, and then I hope I don't have to use him on the short drive in the first half, and then put him on again in the second, and hopefully that encourages them to score quickly. I'm just looking where the other Dark Elf teams are.
Oh.
I want to know why my favourite race is not doing very well, and who's to blame, apart from me.
No, we don't talk about that.
Well, I would say Dark Elves is the fourth worst race of win rate this season. So
I will say I don't think apart from me, there's any Dark Elves that were skilled. I think they were all brand new.
Probably most of them are like.
So I'd probably say that that does tilt
matter. Of course.
the stats. Dark Elves are quite hard to get going initially, but once you get them going,
there's a Dark Elf team in my division that's been having a bit of a rough time with it.
There's one in
If you lose,
Qualsa Hills, which have won 6, lost 4. So that's pretty okay.
I think the one in my division hasn't won or drawn a game all season. I think they've just lost every game, unfortunately for them.
I think that falls under the category of having a bad run.
yeah.
Yeah, I may have taken the mick a little bit in that match, and I beat them 6-1.
No. I think my all-time record is 7-0 in a match. That's the highest I ever won one.
I should probably say
I can one up you there. I've managed to win 8-0 once.
Splat.
I think
managed to drop
the
8.
7-0 was like including like 4 blitz or something like that. Not saying any names here. Who knows how that feels? But
oh yeah, I think I was playing Skaven versus Chaos Chosen, and they kept doing all men on the line. And then, like, I think I got like 1 or 2 blitzes, and also I was playing Skaven, so I just like I'd let them hit whatever they wanted to hit, and then I just run past them and just use like strip ball and just take the ball off them and score. And they just never changed the setup.
no.
I was just like, all right, well, I mean, if you're not going to change the setup, then I'm not going to change my plan of attack.
No.
When I say Blood Slurpers, Dark Elf team, they've got a bit of promise. 3, 3, and 4 they are for this season. I'm not sure whether their last game's come through yet. I think they might still be playing. But
it's pretty difficult to get Dark Elves off the ground.
Yeah.
But once you do it feels really good.
I mean, I say my Dark Elf roster for the Bucks Open, November Bucks Open, was, because we were allowed to stack a maximum of 2 skills, 1150. So took 2 witches, runner, 4 blitzers. I put 2 blodge step blitzers. I took the other 2 blodge witches blitzers, and then the other 2, the 2 witch elves were both Rog. So I just had basically block dodge across the board, and then I had a couple of sidestep to harass. The only problem I found with that was I could harass the cage, but I had no really reliable way of getting the ball back once I managed to harass it, and that was my downfall.
Yeah, I've only played the one tabletop tournament of 2-dayer. It was the Andy Davil one. And he kind of made Necro really powerful, and I only have Necro, so that was great for me. And yeah, that was basically it, really. I think I can't remember what the skill pack was. It was like 7 or 8 skills or something like that, and I basically just took a bunch of guard, some block, and then I knew that there was going to be loads and loads of Necro, so I decided to make an anti-Necro team by because you get 1 secondary in that rule set, so I took Juggernaut on the Wolf. I didn't play against Necro in any games, and I was so sad.
So Levy here is trying to see if he can
sneak an equalizer.
At least get the equalizer. No reals.
Okay, so I can see the plan here.
Yeah.
So the plan is obviously he's trying to use the War Dancer as bait, and hopes that they forget about the lineman, the dodge lineman.
Yeah.
And so they put all the resources into blitzing the War Dancer. But I mean, the Necro have got enough players to deal with this. It's like,
yeah, I probably still would have preferred taking that one loner lineman and tack the Wardens with tackle.
Louis got no rerolls as well, which really doesn't help.
No.
So it's a It's a nonchalant 5-up catch. Soon to be 6-up because that wolf is absolutely going to block that journeyman lineman.
Yeah.
Here we go then. Can he get him down? Yes, he can.
Well,
So you have to foul him because I think he's still close enough, isn't he?
yes, he's technically.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can kind of see why the Wood Elf team has all the journeymen.
Well, I find that my dark elves have a difficult time surviving. I find what else are struggling even more. That yeah, okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
he still can score.
This is just a pass into a 6 and then like a what is it?
Well,
Is it?
no, you can dodge out. You can dodge out into that 2-up, so that's a 4-up. Then you go again into another 4-up, 3-up, 2-up, and then the rushes. So you go out basically on the either the left or the right. I don't think it really matters. I know you probably go out on the right of that cage. So dodge out onto the square to the right below the lineman. So you can go
Is
1,
it-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. That's what I think is probably the better play because you at least got to re-roll with the dodge.
What I'm thinking of is this wrestle dodge. So
Yeah.
dodge out and then go back in on dodge on a 3 and hit the wolf on 1 dice and try and chain push your way forwards. And then you can do 3-2 out and then pass the ball to them in the end zone.
Well, that's quite a good play, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of doing that, but with the tree, but I just realized the tree is not within movement.
Going for the SPP, it looks like.
Yeah.
I think I still would have done the 2+3+ dodge into 1 dice, and then on like it's like 66% chance that you get a push / pow, and then even
Yeah.
on basically anything but a skull, you're fine.
Yeah.
Kind of depends though what the coach's priorities are. So that was the play I thought I was going to do.
Yeah.
But obviously the risk with you doing that is you're risking a player. You know it's probably really unlikely. Yeah, it's whether you use that player to do that. Let's go and have a little look at Ringtown and Horde Master.
It also means that Levy didn't make top 4.
Oh dear. There's a lot of rats there.
Yes. I don't have a problem with it, but there is a lot of rat teams.
Skaven are so awesome.
Oh, they've got Bomber as well. They've got Bomber. Go on, Bomber. Do it. Just lob it in there. Just lob it in there.
When I checked on this game, Bomber was all the way back near the touchdown line. I imagine to try and
Oh,
stop.
he's come in. This is a very good moment for a bomb. This is a really good moment for a bomb.
Surprised they didn't throw the bomb before doing this blitz.
That's what I thought, but that's a decent trade, I think.
What match are you watching?
This is the Horde Master Ringtail game. It is currently Horde Master's turn. He's the one with the bomber.
Yeah,
and
and Ringtail
is just
sat on the bench as well.
Yeah, Ringtail is just considering whether he wants to Apo this gutter runner he's lost, which is the strip ball wrestler. So
Decided not to. I think I would have.
Again, the only reason I can think of it is if you're happy with your position. I very stupidly used an Apo on a journeyman lineman yesterday because I had a chance of getting the ball and trying to win the game for 2-1.
No blinds thrown, but a cheeky foul thrown in with another KO, and there goes the other gutter runner. That's also got probably a bunch of random skills and is severely rusted. It's got strip ball, wrestle, dauntless, frenzy, minus movement and minus armor.
Yeah, the one that you want to get at is Bugs Bunny, who's on the bench.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in the other gutter runners. I just want to say, come on, Bugs, come on the pitch for me.
Show me your carrot.
This is where you want the random match events that we've spoken about before. There is one that says if you have less than 11 players, you can set up extra players from your reserve onto the field halfway through a drive.
Well, this brings up an interesting conversation, actually, of next season. It says on the road that there are some more inducements coming. What do we think those inducements are going to be?
Well, I've got to think, first of all, have they gone through all of the kind of standard rule set ones? So have they got all of the standard inducements?
I've heard people talking about stuff like Weather Mage.
So those then you start getting into the Death Zone stuff, which is kind of the extra stuff that, I mean, I know certainly my tabletop league run.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of like conversations about someone called Horatio for 80k, which is a dodgy fireball.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's fabulous. Yeah, for 80k,
yeah,
it scatters on a D3. So you select your target, and then it scatters D8, D3. So essentially, if you put it on the ball carrier on a standard cage like Ringtail's got set up here, on a 1 you're going to hit the ball carrier and part of the cage. On a 2 you're going to hit the edge of the cage and potentially open up the cage. On a 3 you're going to miss. But if you just put it into a crowded area, it still has Mighty Blow. So you could.
It has Mighty Blow as well.
Yeah, it's a standard wizard. The reason why you get the 70k discount is because it potentially could scatter 3 squares in any direction. So if any of your players are in the vicinity, that's where you potentially have the problem.
I might be stupid here, but does normal Fireball have Mighty Blow?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
This is why in my game against who was I playing? I had a wizard in the hutch. I think it was my game pre-gold stacker. Oh, has he got it? Oh, he's got it.
And accurate and everything. Oh my god.
Yeah. Just roll 6s and this game's super easy.
Yeah.
So this is the point where I know I did want to come on here and not talk about Bomber. I didn't want to talk about him, but again, just a really good argument in the fact of you can roll 6s, but if you can't roll 4s that hit 3 players.
Yep.
You knocked down one of them.
Yep.
Even if you knock down the ball there, I don't think there's an easy way to get the ball out and safe. Because Hordemaster's only got 1 active player left.
Yeah. No, I think.
And he's done the right thing. He screened first, and then hoped that Bomber does the work for him, dislodges the ball and a couple of players around him, and then you could put the gutter runner in and maybe sneak out with it. That's really unlucky.
I've heard stroking him on his belly or chin may calm him down.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, he needs to get away from Bomber. This is what I did against Bomber. I just got on him and just tried to stifle him.
Yeah.
And now you take the cage. Now you take the cage all the way over to the sideline.
Yeah.
For more things that could be coming next season, I mean, there's riotous rookies, which I have no idea how riotous rookies works whatsoever.
Right.
But then,
you're testing my knowledge here
but
because I don't
yeah,
usually use riotous rookies.
and then there's like the infamous coaches.
Oh, so those are things like Kari Cold Steel, who
Joseph
is basically
Bugman.
like a cheerleader. Joseph Bugman, who again, it's like he's like I think he's a dwarf. He's like a dwarf blitzer, but he gets sent off when you use him. You can only set him up if you ever have less than 11 players.
Yeah, like if
I
you have
mean,
less than 11, he can kind of just jump on the pitch and be like, "Hey, I'm playing now."
yeah, for a drive. I mean, I like that. I think there'll be a few kind of sort of purists who will go, oh, well, oh, you know, you do not want to use these inducements. You know, you use the standard rule book, and you know this just adds too much crazy. But again, I
Well, I
just think
think those are in the standard rule book, or at least
Joseph.
Joseph Bugman is.
I'll have a little look. I know the other ones don't. The one that I'd like to see is it's a assistant coach that basically gives skills on journeymen, and you can hire them at the end of the game. Now, I think that would be fabulous for teams like Wood Elves, who are going to have high attrition, and you can basically get some. That's a pretty decent effort.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it has sure hands, really.
Yeah.
Pretty
Oh, they've
risky
re-rolled it.
action,
Oh,
Bob.
what a gamble.
Yeah. I think they have that's the chance for TD, right?
Well, this is an easy surf now.
I don't think Bob would approve.
Because you'll just take
It's a fair bit of dice for a surf, though.
it's 1, 2. It's only 3.
Yeah, two
in
of
all
them don't
fairness,
have block.
in all fairness, in regards to the reducement, I really wish they would just fix the cost issue more than anything else. Like
I mean,
I don't
when
get
it comes to
why.
the cost, it's GW, isn't it? Ooh.
Ooh!
Oh no.
Oh, he's dead.
Jim
Yeah, he's
is
very dead.
dead.
Bomber decided
And
just
he
oh,
has
it's dead.
used his Apo into dead. That's very disappointing.
Oh,
That's literally just Bomber going, you know what? Yeah, I'll roll him. That's fine.
That player should punch the
I mean, he
other
blows himself up,
players
doesn't break his armor.
before trying anything.
Yeah, he's completely fine.
So you take that, yeah, you push him that way. See, Ringtail's got 3 rerolls, so I would be taking that on. I don't understand why the game doesn't allow you to not use tackle there.
because you have to have that tackle is a optional skill.
Where do I set that?
So if you
If
are
you
watching
go
my
into your
screen, you go into
settings.
main menu, no, and you go options, game,
Main menu.
And then
Skills.
again.
and in here you have
game.
the section called automatic schools.
Skills. Oh, okay.
Um,
Let's just.
One that
take
is
that
actually
off.
quite important to not have enabled is, for example, say Dutch.
Yeah, I've just taken that one off.
Like some of them, I think it's fine that it uses them every single time because it's like, yeah, I'm going to be using break tackle if I can use break tackle. I'm going to be using my pass if I can pass, but I'm not going to be using my let's say play ridden or tackle or whatever in all cases. But
I mean, I don't know. I think plague ridden, that's fine. I think the ones I have on automatic is plague ridden because that's just giving you an extra player. Pass. Break tackle's a questionable one because if you've got break tackle and dodge, then it's there's a gamble there. But I'd have catch on automatic. Like, why would I want the option to catch it? Like, if you need to re-roll it, just bloody do it.
yeah, for me, it's the sort of the balance between, in most cases, every decision costs you time on the timer, and if you are like certain players like me, you can run the risk of running out your time bank. and then hence having a few of them on automatic is quite nice. On the other hand, it's like there's always edge cases for more or less any of them, where it's like, yes, in this rare instance, some of them are not even that edge case. Like Dodge, for example, is not actually always a edge case, whether you want to use that or not. Wow, there's a lot of mayhem going on in the moment here. But yeah.
So BB Nut against Alex Archer has just kicked off, which I think is possibly going to be a key one.
I think so. I think I have that one noted as one of the, yeah. That is basically deciding Aldolf East. They have a potential of being number 2, and that's it.
Oh. Well, the Orcs just tried to get rid of the Renegade's Minotaur on turn 1.
Boom! It must be extremely frustrating, don't you think?
Cheekiest uphill I've ever did see.
Oh, Jesus. Are you watching this one as well?
I've just streamed into it, yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's on the stream, but for those who have not just watched this, me and Evie have just witnessed a Orc lineman with frenzy just waltz into a ogre troll sandwich to hit a lineman. 2 dice uphill, both pows.
Seems about fair.
And the lineman dutifully gets smacked for his troubles, which is exactly what he deserves.
I'm a bit scared about this positioning for the Renegades.
Yeah,
The
that
Orcs
sounds a bit
a
risky.
fair bit of frenzy. Well, they have some frenzy, I should say. And
They definitely have enough tackle, don't they? There's a lot of tackle there.
it's just... It also screams to me that they want to score quickly because they're already scared of the Minotaur getting in trouble.
I mean, that's fair.
I know, but if you're in that position on turn 2...
I have a feeling I have a feeling there's grab involved. Just having a little look. Whether the troll has grab. No, the troll has brawler.
I think
Brawl,
this
guard, stand firm, and brawler. I like brawler. Brawler's a great skill.
Is that a... Was that a blitz action? Or was that a blitz that they had?
I have a feeling... I mean, we didn't get to see, like, the first turn, but I have a feeling that they blitzed with the Minotaur, and it either did not knock something down, or it got itself in trouble and knocked itself down. And then this happened.
Yeah.
I think it.
I mean, you still can get a bit of a screen here, but I see what you're saying. You can't run the Dark Elf down the pitch, which I think is probably what you want to do.
I also don't think you throw the block with the Ogre. It's going to be extremely tempting to throw that block with the Ogre, but I would not do it.
Well, it's just asking for a fail, right?
Yeah, like if there's a bonehead or whatever, it's just, or if it's just a push, it just causes way more problems than it's worth.
I mean, if the blitzer wasn't in that position, I mean, he's got away with it.
Anyway. Got away with it.
Because I mean, if that's a double push,
If I had a goal,
that's you're in a bit of a sticky wicket. Because I think then what you're doing is you're dodging with the Orc with frenzy, and you're going after that Skaven.
Yeah, pretty much. The only good thing for the Renegades here is that they are kind of out of position. But, like, well, the Orcs are kind of out of position, but the Orcs are going to be more than willing to kind of fight this to get another foul. Yeah. Because that Minotaur is definitely, like, the scariest player on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice of blitz there. Doesn't matter if there's a push, you're just clearing away for the assists.
There we go.
Yeah.
But he's no help now.
Well, that's probably the Apo gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right choice.
Yeah, but it's still a
Minus
to have.
kind of got what it deserved, really, for being in that position.
Yeah. I kind of wish I would have seen turn 1 because I don't know. I wonder what happened, whether the Mino just kind of like rolled poorly and knocked itself over, or if it just rolled pushes and then
I think it
got
rolled
itself in
pushes,
trouble that
and
way.
then on the Orc turn 1 they downed it, and then they probably fouled it, and that's why you had the circle around it. And that's why it was stunned.
I definitely put money on the Orcs winning this one.
Yeah, the Orc seems.
As I say, this that there is a big turnover in Orc players twisting out.
Yeah,
I hope so, because
there's six.
There's six that aren't keeping it.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, it's because they're boring.
there will only be 14 remaining.
and that's not including any twisting into Orcs.
No.
But they don't worry me because they're going to be in the bottom tiers.
I mean, that's the thing with Orcs. I think what happened is, right, because we're currently on, I don't know what season 50 something, right? But on for Blood Bowl 3 for like crossplay, it's like the end. We've just finished the second, while we're finishing the second season. And I feel like everyone that joined in like the first season or was already playing in like maybe some previous seasons before crossplay on like PC, they were basically like, I want to do well, I'm going to play Orc. And now they've played Orc for like a couple of 2-3 seasons, and they're like, I mean, like everyone's playing Orc, and they just don't want to do that anymore.
I think the problem with Orcs are also they suffer the same sort of problem with Dwarves, in the sense that they are reliable, they are stable, they are bashy. And the difference between Orcs and Dwarves is that Dwarves only have one melody they can play, and that's bashing everything. Dwarves can at least do some dodging, some passing. Like, they're not good at it, but they can at least do some, and a lot better than compared to Dwarves, right? But you also find out, like, you are also very much forced into this, like, a certain type of gameplay. And I think for a new player, whereas whether you're putting your player up or letting them stay on the ground, that is key to winning with Skaven or Elves, stuff like that. You don't have to think about that. You don't have to worry about that as Orc. You have 9 armor. You're going to do fine. And in that sense, it's a forgiving race to play, but it will also not carry you to wins. And I think that's sort of the downside.
Says the person who's qualified top of Prem East.
But no. But I actually think, like, if in all fairness, like, there is a reason why Dwarves, Orcs, and similar races are popular among new players. It is a forgiving race.
No, I accept your point there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, whenever like anybody comes into like the BB3 Discord and they're like, "Hi, I'm new," the first thing I say is, "Hi, how you doing? The races I would recommend you play Orcs, play Humans, play Undead."
Yeah.
Interesting. You don't tell them to play Dwarves. Is it because we just have enough of them in the world?
No, because I think even though Dwarves are like to some degree kind of a crutch, you still need to have like positioning, and if they're new, they don't even know what block dice do. So like,
I mean, that's true.
it's better to just give them Orcs where you just, you're more likely to get 2 dice, you're slightly faster, you're a bit stronger, you do basically the same thing. It's just they're just better.
I mean, I still would say everybody needs to play Dwarves at some point. Everybody needs to play Dwarves.
I agree. And then you basically get to decide whether you love them or hate.
Well,
it's not even just the love and to hate them. I think it's just the learning of position. I learned a lot playing Dwarves on the OFL. I actually played in the league at the same time as Corn Knight did, and I think I played something like a total of 6 games against Corn Knight, and he was playing Elven Union. Obviously, this is Blood Bowl 2, so a little bit different.
Yeah.
But every game I got better because after the game I spoke to Corn Knight about, sort of what did I do wrong. Some of the things that I did originally were just like super basic, like not picking up the ball when it's on the floor, or I'm dwarves, I'm really slow, so make sure that if I'm playing against a fast team, have some cover, so I can have some protection of the ball if I don't pick it up. Just little things like that.
The worst thing about dwarves is like when I do play dwarves, which is very rarely, and I'm like, oh, look at this, my opponent, they've left me a gap, and I'm like, ah, man, I'm like movement 4. That's not really a gap anymore, is it?
Oh dear.
Oh, that's
That's-
a double
that's-
one.
That ball is going over by
Woo!
those orcs, and the orcs are away here.
Yeah. So I think for me, dwarves are like the opposite of wood elves, in that sense of, yes, your solution might be bashing your way out of every problem, but it also means that you are like really, really stuck in that pattern. As wood elves, it's all like your solution to the problem is never bashing your way out of any issue. And I think when you're playing with dwarves, as you talked about, like Phil, about like getting a feel of how it actually works, is that you sort of find out that your positioning matters even more, because even though you can bash, sure, you're not exploiting the gaps because you don't have movement for it. You're not moving around, so you need to be thinking about what is the position going to be like next turn, because if you're not, you're going to be overrun anyway, because you just don't have the movement to get around to it, which is the opposite of like playing what wood elves, which is like wood elves is elves in worst case scenario, sort of in that sense that you need to be thinking about like, when are you going to fail that dodge, when are you going to fail that pickup, when are you going to fail that throw, because when that happens, and it's going to happen, what's the end state going to look like? Because then there is like, you're going to be screwed big time if you're not thinking
This
about
is the key one in terms of the game that we're watching. That's
ooh.
that's really harsh. That's basically all the really good pieces gone now.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Ooh.
Nuffle is definitely flipping over the
Oh,
board
and
here.
now we're just going to throw a 1 dice block and get a power. Is this going to be a removal as well? No, not quite.
Oh, come on.
DV Not is like, I'm dicing them. I know what I'm doing. This is the sort of like, yeah, I guess I kind of just like curl up into a ball and give up here if you're the renegade. You're just like, yeah, I've lost it now.
So this is a point where I actually think you try and hand off the ball to that Black Orc. Because that lineman is stunned and you've got time.
Yeah.
I actually think you try and take advantage of this because he only needs 1 more star player point. You could be saving that for next season.
Yeah.
I'd be trying to hand that off to that Black Orc, and you got some cover as well.
I'm just trying to look at
Well, I mean, there's hardly any
units.
renegades to put up any resistance anyway, so.
Yeah,
Well,
but
there
you
goes
have to
all the
also
dice.
consider number 2, if the winner of this match will actually come top 3. And
is this promotion to Prem?
This is an old dwarf. This will
yes,
be
so that
promotion
would
to
be
Prem,
an automatic advancement to Prem.
Is this east or west? Please say it's east.
It's east.
Thank God.
Come on, are you not saying that you want more orcs with sneaky gits and power?
We just got rid of 3 of them. We just got rid of 4 of them. I don't need any more. I've done my time.
Where does my division go to? So, like, Griffinwood East, where do they go?
So
will go to
easts
Alt of
promote
East.
to easts.
So is it
But
Colsa Hills East?
when you get-
then?
Yes, it would be. So, but when you're relegated, you change conference. So Prem East
so you go, if you get
would
relegated,
be relegated
you go
to
where?
Alt West. So basically, it means that if you get stuck in a particular division that maybe just doesn't suit your race, and you get relegated from it, it means that you can then have a go at trying to get promoted into the other one. So I like that system because I mean, if you for example, you take our division in Prem West, so mine and Archangels, it had 5 orcs. It had
We only had
one.
4, but sure.
Did we have? Was it 4?
Yes.
Goldstacker, Stig, Davo,
Me.
yourself. Oh, it is 4. Sorry, I keep thinking it's 5. It's because I've played orcs 5 times because I played Goldstacker twice.
Uh-huh.
But
I have a question. If you're in the bottom division
mm,
and you become bottom 2, do
Yeah.
you just stay in that one, or do you end up going over to the west?
good question. I think historically you've just stayed in that division. But that's a good question for me to ask Doug, actually, whether you would actually change divisions. But yeah, I think my point was is that the East is a lot less bash heavy. So I think you've certainly got Skaven in that division. You've got Elven Union in that division. You've got Renegades who are bash, but I'd almost consider them kind of like a hybrid-y sort of team because you can play with the Dark Elf, right?
Well, you've got more orcs slowly coming your way because I know Spleggy's playing orcs and he's definitely getting promotion from my division.
Yay!
So he's going to end up in Pulse
He's-
East, and then
He's good as well because I've had a look at his NAF rating because I played his team, him and Scouse Boy and 2 other guys. They were in the same York team for that tournament, and I ended up playing one of the other guys. That's not very many renegades, is it?
No, that goblin has
Oh.
definitely been putting in some work.
That's a lot of orcs. Like that's just intimidating. Just look at that number of skills down the side. If you've got all the skills turned on like I have, that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, that is.
oh god,
None of those KOs have come back though, have they? As well.
oh that's just GG, isn't it?
2, 3, 2, 2.
So I
This
was
is going to
playing
be
Snow
this is just
Troll
going to be a
and
2-0, and the Renegades are like, oh, well, at least my good players haven't died.
Yeah. There's almost a little bit of me that would go, again, it's last game of the season. I'd go, thank you very much. I'll shove my big guys in a hole at the back of the end zone. Have at it with my 3 linemen that I'll give you, or maybe my 2 linemen and a goblin that I don't want to keep.
So I was playing Snow Troll, and he had 7 KOs after the first drive, and one of the 7 returned. And then at halftime, the 5 out of the 6 returned. So KO rolls can be a little bit all over the place.
Oh, they can't they?
It's just the key ones you want back. Like you want the claw, right? You want the claw. You want the block pieces. You definitely. I mean, it's a real. I know that the Dark Elf. I thought the Dark Elf got injured. I know that was the leader, wasn't it? The leader thrower. At least it's only missed next game and nothing worse.
I mean, it's already got a busted leg though.
You
And
don't
it's
need
last
the
game of
thrower
the
to
season.
run. You just need him to. You need him with good arms. That's all you need. Bit annoying though that the renegade throwers aren't as good as human ones. They are human throwers.
Yeah, it's a bit
So I
weird.
don't really understand why they didn't give them 2+ for throwing.
It's just GW in a nutshell. They were like, Renegades, they get 3 big guys. You know, the whole team gets basically mutations, but not the big guys on primaries. We can't be having them be that good. And then the same for like Old Alliance. It's just like, yeah, I mean, we've given them some kind of bad dwarves. Let's just tack on Loner as well. Like, well, why not?
Yeah. I feel sort of the same with orcs. I never really understood why black orcs, big guns, black orcs, potato, but then they gave them 5 movement instead of 4. It was like, they didn't need that, but they got it.
Like, I understand that they wanted to make some sort of like differentiation between, because obviously the orc team in like Blood Bowl 2 in like 2016, they had black orcs as their big gun position. And if you make a black orc team and you've got orcs that are just 4 black orcs and the rest is just a better team, then who's going to play? And obviously, you know, they clearly wanted to change the black orcs as well. And I mean,
No.
it could have been. They could have just. Oh, that's rough.
Well, at
There
least he
goes
didn't
the
kill him.
troll.
This is
Regen. That's all right.
this is, I think, the thing that they actually need to get rid of.
Yeah.
They need to
What,
get rid of
fouling?
Sneaky. No, they need to get rid of, like, the Sneaky gets very powerful. Like, really, really powerful.
I mean, thankfully, GW recently did nerf guard because, of course, guard needed a buff. But now that the guard doesn't help on fouling assist anymore. But yeah, I was always I was a bit disappointed when the change to sneaky get happened. When I was like, why did they not just like, if the fouling was an issue, why did they keep the doubles protection, and why didn't they just let them keep the movement side of things?
I think the movement made it so that you could never retaliate against them, and I think at least now you sort of have to at least put them in a
Yeah, you
more
have to
vulnerable
you
state.
have to commit to your fouls a bit more. But I feel like if they got rid of the doubles protection, but then let them
You
keep
could then
keep
have
the
the movement. I think that's quite good. Yeah.
Yeah,
because then
I
technically
would rather
fouling
have
run
that
away,
also. In all fairness,
but like you don't get the ridiculous odds of just being able to chuck fouls out wherever you want, and if you don't break armor, you just never get sent off.
I also find, like, I think we talked about this like last week too. Also, I think the arguing call on top of it also just compounds the issue, right? Because
Yeah.
like I had a match where I was for once trying to play Steamroller Dwarves, right, just for the funs of it, and I in one match successfully argued the call 3 times with my Steamroller, and I think my opponent was really unhappy at the end of the match, and I don't understand why, because clearly that would be completely fair, right? And then the other match you have like where it doesn't make a difference, and I think it just
It's too much variance for the
exactly.
sake of variance.
So Mathimus has a good idea on the chat for Sneaky Get. So it's should only work on dud fouls that don't break armor.
Yeah. But it was not
So
like the old-fashioned right Sneaky Git.
yeah, but this is why I think I think it was okay, sort of how it was. You put on a cheap
So
player.
if it breaks armor, but you still roll a double on the armor break, then you still get sent off. But if you don't break armor, then Sneaky Get saves you.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I think that's the old version. I think that would have made a lot more sense, or at least
I think the thing is Sneaky Get used to it. If you didn't break armor, you didn't get spotted. But Sneaky Get now is it doesn't matter where it's where you roll your doubles. So you only get sent off if you roll the doubles on the
injury rule,
on
yes.
the injury.
Yeah.
Whereas Sneaky Git has had it's been really buffed because you've had the addition of, it used to be if you roll doubles on an armor break, but you did break the armor, you get sent off. Whereas now, if you roll doubles on the armor break, but you don't break armor, you're not going to get sent off. Okay, that's fine, right? But if you roll doubles on the armor break, and then don't roll doubles on the injury table,
Yeah.
that's where.
Well, you just get saved.
That's the bit where you could nerf it slightly.
Oh yeah.
Because you're going, well, you're still getting something from it because you've broken the armor. So it might be a key stun. You know, you look back at that War Dancer
Yeah.
that we saw earlier. You could take a trade for keeping that War Dancer out for a turn.
Yeah.
It's not like a. I mean, essentially, the Sneaky Git has won this game because it's got rid of the claw player, it's got rid of the Dark Elf, it's got rid of the leader block player, it's got rid of the troll. I think it's got rid of pretty much everybody there.
Yeah.
And there's been no doubles. No doubles at all.
I mean, if there's been no doubles, then it's like, well, I mean, Sneaky Get's done nothing technically.
But I also think like my problem with it is sort of like a 6+ roll, like is what you're running the risk of being sent off right on, and that's a very unstable roll. Like if it's 4+ and you could sustain, like, let's say the first 2 or something like that, it would even be more stable. The problem with a 6+ roll is that is a highly, highly unstable roll statistically. And
Yeah,
that means
yeah,
that you will have matches like this where one Goblin more or less removes the team because nothing's going to stop him. Because, oh, I didn't roll a 6 here, I didn't roll a 6 here. You can easily do 12 rolls and not have a single 6. You're not going to do 6 rolls and not have a 4+.
yeah. I mean, I also think like
Oh, go on,
when
go on.
when
Get
when it,
him.
when it
Get
comes
him.
to like argue the call specifically, I mean, we saw it last week, didn't we? Argue the call, just roll the 6 on it, get bomber dribble snot on the pitch, and because of that, they managed to win the game off it.
Oh yeah, but you can also like if you're matching dwarves again because it has one of the most expensive secret weapons, right? Like a death roller staying on for second half or not staying on for second half. That's a 6+ roll, but that swings the match vastly in one or the other direction, right?
Yeah,
And that's
I
just
mean, it does it with most secret weapons. If you can manage to argue the call just the
Oh, yeah.
once, it's so game changing.
Yeah. So of course, like
Imagine rolling a roll like that on a sneaky get dirty player who's already removed 2 players or anyway.
but
Like that's the bit that just needs to go.
I think my biggest problem with the Arctic call is that the downside of doing it is not big enough. Like if the
Well, there isn't
downside
really
of
a
arcing the
downside.
call and rolling a 1 was it just make it really horrendous. 2 other players get sent off, so that you basically lost 3 players by arcing the call, right? You would really consider whether you would want to do the arcing the call or not. Hence, you would limit the interest in doing so. But by not limiting that right now, like what's the downside of doing it? Oh, nothing. Well, then I might as well do it, right? So people do it every time they can do it because there's no real downtime downside to it, right?
Yeah.
There's a real cost to it. I'm not saying exactly what it should be, but like if at least was a downside where it's like I might consider whether this would be worth it to do it or not. Then it would be a lot better.
In my opinion, like the most basic thing you can say is just like, if you get caught arguing the call, you get caught on all other fouls you do for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter, if you've got bribes, whatever you want, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like you're getting caught, even
Yeah.
with versus sneaky get and all that.
So somewhat like the Nuffles prayers, the one where anything is just an automatically send off, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at least that would make it so that I would have less problem with the argue the call because it would at least make it so like okay, you can do this. You might get dribble snot for the second half or the steamroller or whatever second half, but if you do so, you also are putting something in the pot that is quite expensive if it goes the other way around.
So I'm just looking at this game. I think I would fully respect Alex if he almost said no thanks. I'm just going to pass here.
Yeah, this match is over.
Yeah,
but I like the fact that he's thrown a foul against that sneaky kid.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the only thing they really can do at this point.
It would be sort of poetic justice at least.
Well, it's been lovely, gents. It's 9:30, so I'm going to make a move. So thank you very much for having me. I'll see you all back for season 54, which will be exciting. Please give us some shout out TV when you go on and do your streams. That'll be excellent. I think we need something like about like 3 to 6 more coaches. So anybody listening, if you've got friends, acquaintances, family members that you don't like and you want them to, play this hateful game, as Alex is finding out currently, come and play it with us. For a really good.
Is there like a break period between seasons?
2 weeks.
2-week break. Okay. I'll be fine by then, which will be awesome.
Cool.
Yep.
So just a quick thing, if you have time for it. So, what are you two guys? Which race do you think in this season has won the most matches?
Oh, I think I've looked at the answer. Is it Elven Union? They're
It-
very high up
That is
because
correct.
Blitzy and Core Knight have been playing both of them, and they've won a ton of games.
That is correct. And which do you
Yeah.
think is then the least winning?
I know it's not Dark Elves, but
Is
they're
it?
pretty close.
I mean, what team? What team would be bad? I mean, I guess maybe got to be a chaos team, hasn't it? It's either got to be Renegades or Chosen.
Yeah.
Again, it's like Ceramol's done pretty well in Prem, so I don't think it's Renegades. And Alex, apart from this game, has been pretty good. So I don't think it's Renegades. I think from memory, I think it might be Chaos.
So
But again, Bazos is I think the only person who's been playing Chaos, and it's been pretty good.
yeah. So top three of the most winning races in order is Elven Union, Lizardman, and Skaven.
Mhm.
They have had almost a 50% win rate. And at the other end of the scale, we have Underworld, who has won 19%, Chaos Chosen with 20, and Black Ops with 21.
Ouch.
Underworld. That surprises me.
Yeah,
Where's Chuck in Altdorf? He's Altdorf East, isn't he?
yeah. But I also think that it's sort of interesting if you I put up the comparison for the stream so they can see it. But the funny thing is you can always see the teams who have been winning most is those who have the highest retention rate, and those who have been losing a lot has the lowest retention rate for swapping teams. So it seems like there is a a bit of a correlation between that. But
I mean, that makes sense. You don't, this is a game where I've re-rolled teams when I've had a couple of like really bad seasons in a row, and you just
exactly.
can't get anything going with them. And 11 games for a season is a long time.
Oh,
So
definitely.
playing like 22 games where you're just getting battered every season,
Yeah.
that's no fun.
No.
I mean, it's also like when it comes to Chaos Chosen, when it comes to Black Orcs, they take a couple of seasons to develop anyway. I know I had a bit of a weird experience in Gods of Badlands League where because I was an experienced coach, they decided that I was not allowed to play in the bottom division, which was kind of fair. They had some new players, and I kind of would have killed them all with Black Hawks. But so they put me in the middle division where there was already some like experienced teams, and I was playing fresh Black Hawks, and I basically managed to win like 3 games and just draw the rest. And they take some time to build. They really, really do.
You do have to commit to certain teams. I mean, I say I've maintained it before, and I'm encouraging it because I think it's good for the league. I still think Chaos, I still think Nurgle, they're totally viable. Liman is proven it in the Altdorfs. Nurgle are definitely viable. Chaos, you can get some good pieces. It's not you're not going to get everything that you want. They can't be complete murdery, but you can have enough murder to make them work. You can get some two-head stuff. You can get some sure hands. You can get some block.
But
I
but
mean,
but if I look at
they're definitely
Nurgle,
viable.
so Nurgle is slightly above the the average. And that's still like you said with fairly new teams, they will get more winning as they get better skills and more build up. So I think Nurgle, at least purely from the numbers that we are seeing currently, is definitely a viable option. I'm more surprised that Dark Elf is the fourth at the bottom. I think it's more like you said that they either not build up enough or it's just been unlucky with who has picked them.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I really like. I mean, a lot of people say that like Nurgle is bad or whatever, and it does take some time for them to get moving, but they have the right skills to be annoying essentially. They've got foul appearance, they've got disturbing presence, which just shuts down handoffs and passing for the most part. If you position correctly, they have regen, so they don't die. They just stand in the way. And Nurgle, especially for even lesser experienced, newer players and stuff, you see just this wall of strength that if you try to hit it, sometimes that doesn't even work. It can they can just clog you up, and they can get draws and wins just off that.
Just out of curiosity, Archangel, if you took the 00 and 11, Mathemus has just said about that one, which I think is EV's division. If you took that out, how would that move the dial for them? Because there's been five of those teams. I know that brings that down to 4.
Yeah.
But I think 4 teams would be a little bit more reliable in comparing to most other races. In comparison to say Nurgle, which has only 2. And Liman's a good coach, so I mean he's obviously gonna push up those stats. So I mean, how many games we'd be talking about? 44 games. What would be the stat then that we'd be looking at then?
So if you look at Dark Elves, right? There's been 5 teams of Dark Elves. That's a potential of 55 matches, right? So that's for a sample size of this. That is not a huge sample size. It also means that the likelihood of how to say not being predictive, and also one thing that this graph or math doesn't take really into consideration is in what league are they in. So for example, the Prem results count to the same extent as conference results, and for better and worse, that might not be a fair comparison, right? So even if you were to go okay, so we're only going to look at Hills, Aldolf, and Prem results, you would probably have a very distinct different picture. So that is the thing about statistics. You should always be mindful of exactly what it is that it's covering and what it is not covering here. But I do find it interesting to see that there is certain races that are much more inclined to do draws than others, and there's just some teams that are, at least also, I think, because of, like we said, let's call it the maturity of how many seasons these teams have been through, also affects quite greatly where they end up being on win rates. But that being said, I'm actually surprised that especially something like Lizardmen, who suffers a little bit in the same way as Nurgle, that they need to be built up, are doing so much better than most other races. That they have almost a 50% win rate. Lizardmen, I think, is, at least in my opinion, quite surprisingly. But I think that's also a question of that is the good players who picked Lizardmen, took some time to build them up, and now being rewarded for it, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Lizardmen in the Prem. I mean, you've got Tap, you've got Snow Troll.
Yeah.
You know, these are coaches who've played the game for a while. They know exactly what they're doing. Well, in Tap's case, he's only played Lizardmen in the UKBBL.
Yeah.
So, the longest running franchise, which is quite a nice little stat.
Yeah, I think you can probably say the same about the Elven Union as well. There's some good players playing Elven Union.
I hope that player has written a will, Bob.
I'm surprised to see Nobility so far up, right behind the Orcs.
Yeah,
Again, you've got Gav, and you've got Waldorf playing both of them. I mean, Gav's one of the top rated players in both Skaven and High Elves. I think he told me he was world number 1. I think on Saturday when I saw him, he'd lost it for a little bit, but in terms of NAF tournament rankings, that's where he's at. I mean, you're not a bad player if you get to that sort of level, that sort of standard. Imperial Nobility, you know, they're. Oh no, I'm thinking of Old World Alliance. Anyway, Imperial Nobility is still a good team, but Old World Alliance are also good. In the right hands, they're very good.
Yeah.
I know they're down in the rankings, but they're if you've got a good coach with them, they're pretty good. Anyway, sorry, gents. I will love you and leave you. See you next season.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same.
Yeah,
let's get a little bit later.
Quits here. I think it's a good time as any. But definitely, thank you for the stream.
Yep, thank you very much. We might
Yeah,
see you
thanks
for the
for
might see you
for
for the
having me
grand
as
final.
usual.
Yeah, take care.
Let's go.
And
Take care, everyone.
bye to everyone.